Hey, it's Wednesday. We've made it. We've made it through a crazy day, and good things have happened. Good things are happening. Some bad things have happened as well. It's not all of that, but you know what? We've got some good things. We've got police officers all being charged with things that they should have been charged with at first. And speaking of first, it looks like we have our first point of the evening. So that's excellent. Let me resort everything. I totally didn't do this. This is me just being ill prepared. All right, 1 point for Emily. Barbine's with us. Hello, Barbine. I don't know if Caitlin told you, but we passed you on 66 the other day. We saw you in your fancy retro VW bus, your camper bus, and we were like, that's Barbine, and it totally was. So yeah, you're famous. We can tell you going 55 miles an hour. We can see you and recognize you just because of your bus. We were in that crazy traffic thing as it was happening. 'Cause on 66 some truck caught fire, and we were going out to this place that has cheesecakes, and we were and it closes early and everything, and we were and we're sitting there in dead stop traffic, and there's smoke going up in front of us. You know how that and you're just this is gonna be bad, and there's nowhere I could go. I couldn't get off. There was nothing that could be done. We just had to sit there. We did get there. I think it's called Cheesecake Heaven. It's in Warrington. I think that's right. And we got there just 15 minutes before it closed, and they still had cheesecakes and everything was good. And our truck wasn't on fire, so that's pretty awesome. So in the grand scheme of things, not so bad. Not so bad. So I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. Oh, I just realized I didn't do my Wager Wednesday thing. Let me fix that. I can do it in the background, I think, while you're all hanging out. And we're letting people kind of get in here and get settled and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's good that I'm doing this now. But yeah, how is everybody else doing? What's the good word out there in the real world? It's been a little crazy. There was some fun things happening, and by fun, maybe unfortunate is the right word, but there's also some good things. We've got probably assuming that everything goes according to plan, we'll have justice for the Floyd family. They've all been charged, which I think is the right thing. I think that's correct. Some people really want the initial officer to get a first-degree murder charge, and unless there's a lot more evidence that comes out, I think that's too much, because that's supposed to be premeditated. I don't think it was premeditated. I think he was just a terrible person and can't hear you very well. Oh, okay. How do I make that better? I'm not sure. Is it just Jenny that can't hear me well, or is everybody having that problem? I feel like I'm in a good level, but you know what? I could probably jump it up if I needed to. Okay, but yeah, so then there was no Caitlin tonight. She's got another meeting she's doing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want it to clip, and if I make it clip, then it's bad. All right, I can try and fix this and make this up to maybe 20 dB. Maybe if I do it, let me do it in my mixer thing and see if I can make that better. That might be the direction that we should go. Let's see. Where would that come out? Would that be here? Is this turning that up? No, that's not it. That doesn't seem right. That is that? No, that didn't make a difference. That's not a difference at all. If I do this up, does that make it louder? Not really. Nope. That's also not a thing. How do I get it to go through and make that louder? Hi, yes, I am solo. I am solo too. Just me, just me. All right, well, let's see. I guess I can fix it over here. It's always something. I don't know why, but I'm going to bounce up that, which should make it a little bit. Oh, no, wait, that didn't do it. Hold on. Yeah, no, that's right. So that should be louder. Is that a little bit better for everybody? I don't want it to get into the red. Yeah? Okay, cool. I'm gonna fix that in this main scene as well then, and make sure that. Oh no, it's good all over. Okay, we're good. All right, so we've bumped it up now because Facebook is not cooperating. Our studio is blacked out. We have no lights, which was requested by someone. Let's see, Mike O'Brien asked us to do brown or black, and we knew that that's not types of light, so we just did it without lights. We blacked out all yesterday. I saw that some of you came and checked it out. We appreciated that, and some people were sharing, and that's awesome. And now we're back to do some trivia. We're not quite to all comedy yet, but we'll try and be a little lighter. We'll try to be a little less preachy about things. I just was very passionate about something on Monday, and it's going in a good direction. Some Confederate statues are coming down, which is interesting because before it kind of came up a few years ago, and it wasn't anything that ever crossed my mind, but it seems like just the weirdest thing that we've got those. It would be like, having like, like Nazi things in Germany or something. Like that was the enemy. We were literally, we don't have like any like Nazi like memorials. And for some reason we had Confederate ones, and that was super weird. It's like, we won that. We don't need to like glorify that at all. They lost. That's not really part of our history anymore. Any more than the War of 1812, which there don't seem to be a lot of like. We don't have like I think it's a Spanish. We don't have any like Spanish sea memorials for. So yeah. Anyhow, so I think it's good, right? I think that that's just a weird thing to have. I mean, I think we're probably going to run into an issue where we're going to have founding fathers, which is going to be a real tricky one because that is at least part of the history of the country, and kind of makes sense. But those people back then were really pretty damn racist. They were kind of horrible when it came to other races, and so we're gonna have to deal with that somehow. And I don't even know about that, but the Confederate one seems like, it's like a participation trophy. Like, you fought good. You really did. You almost had it. Congratulations. You know what? Here, have some memorials, to remind yourself of all the people that you threw into harm's way to lose a war. Like, I mean, maybe I'm just too like revisionist about things, but I feel like it should just be like, fuck you lost. We get to make up history now, right? We get to say you're terrible. Like, whenever you beat people, you get to say that they were horrible and they were the enemy, right? We don't have to like raise them up on pedestals. That's weird. Maybe that shouldn't be the way it is, but I don't know. For some reason, this is the one time it isn't that way. So that's good though, right? So that's happening. We only got 10 people. I don't know where all the people are. We have totally just killed off people, apparently. All right, so I got passionate and everybody left. That's what happened. I haven't shared yet, so maybe that'll help. Obviously, if you do share the show, you do get a point. So that is something worth speaking about, thinking about, and participating in. We have a bunch of people who've already shared. That's great. I'm going to do the same. And hopefully that will bring our numbers up a little bit because I know that I am like also watching, right? And so that's when there's 12 people total. And some of you are watching in 2 places. I know it. I know it for a fact. Yeah, totally go British about it. What do the British do? It is weird. Like, we don't have a lot of like, hey, we won the Revolutionary War. Good job, Britain. You really tried. We really appreciate the effort. But for some reason, the Confederacy were like, yeah, Look at them. They were really passionate. It's weird. It's just strange. All right. Enough of that. So I guess we have enough people. There was times where we had 20 and even 30 people, and now we're down to 12. I don't know what we've done wrong. But anyhow, we will do, maybe one day all people will understand what it is to not dick. To not dick. I agree. To not be a dick. I assume that's what you're meaning. Old Town Alexandria took down the statue at the intersection of Prince Street and GW Parkway. Yeah, that I don't know if Old Town Alexandria did that or if people did that in Old Town Alexandria for them. But hey, I think just make that a regular old, or you know what? Make it a roundabout, because roundabouts are supposedly supposed to be even more efficient than the normal traffic signals, and you're already partway there. Just make it a complete roundabout and be good. There won't be as much traffic. It'll be great. British are historically bad for watching history, available and destroying other people's histories to suit our own. Yeah, changing history. I feel like if you win a war against a bunch of people that tried to overthrow your government, you can just call them bad people. You're allowed to do that. Like, they are traitors. They were traitors. Like, they're literally, that's what that term is. We have statues of them. That's so weird. Why are we doing that? It's like, I sometimes inadvertently become like really supportive of all of the like race stuff that's going on, and like I'm not good at it, right? Because I'm not like yeah, that's right, black people. I'm more like, what the fuck is that? Like, and there are so many things that just cross over into common sense, it seems like. And yeah, we need more equality. We need to be able to lift people up. We're talking about human beings that are in a really rough space, but at the same time, why do we have statues of people who were they're traitors? They're like, just like literally, like, that's not even me being like controversial or anything. Like, the definition of traitor, somebody fighting a war against you who says that they're an American. If they fight for a foreign power, which is basically what the Civil War was, then they're a traitor. That's how that works. Why do we have that? That's so weird. And likewise with all the cop stuff, like, race aside, which is a problem all its own. Like, police officers shouldn't be killing people that they have subdued in custody. Period. This is common sense. And that's what really, really irks me. I don't understand how anybody doesn't support common sense. All right, so we're not going to do this. Let's see. Daughters of the Confederation took down the Alexandria statue after the statue in Birmingham was torn down by protesters. Well, probably not a bad idea, because it was probably going to get damaged. So you should go put it in the Daughters of the Confederation Museum or something. It's like the Britain having a statue of George Washington. Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder if that's the case. All right, we've gone down. We have 11 people. Nobody really wants to be here. 11 people is enough. Let's go do this. Let's just start. Let's start it. All right. Question number 1. Let's do this. I'm all alone, so it's going to be a little weird, but that's okay. Which amendment abolishes slavery and involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime? So there we go. All right, we've got answers coming in. This is good. I'm glad people are answering. Emily has a blush face because they apparently do. Well, there we go. But it's not that, because we beat them, right? It would be as if we had statues of King George or whoever it was at the time. That would be the more apropos. If the South has like a statue to Lincoln, that's not a problem, right? We don't have an issue with that. It's just weird when it's the other way around, right? All right, so let's go down and take a look what people are saying. I didn't hit 60 before, so there's now 45 seconds on the clock. 45 seconds on the clock. So let's see. We've got some folks here who haven't been here this week. It looks like Dan Wolf. Typing and not talking at the same time because that's surprisingly difficult. I don't know if you've tried it, but it's not that easy. I try to get it working throughout the show the best I can, but sometimes my brain stops because, I don't know, reasons. It just doesn't want to actually do things anymore. And so then I stop talking. All right, time's up. Let's go to the chat. And then we'll keep an eye to see when that happens in Facebook. Like we said, there's lots of things that are going on all at the same time. And I'll sort my sheet. So it looks like everybody went with the 13th. Septic went with the 13th with very few people before him, which is impressive. Because the answer is the 13th. So I've got 2 points for Craig, a point for Septic. Dan, Wolf, Emily, Melissa, and Danny all have points as well for that one. And time's up, so there's nobody else that got an answer in, it looks like. So excellent total guess, Septic. That was a really well done. It's funny because as Dan Wolf wasn't here earlier in the week, but you may notice that there's a bit of a theme that's going on this week. So as we're writing out the questions, we kept thinking like, this is going to be really unfortunate for Septic. Like this is really kind of slanted American. And then we were like, yeah, but he's got a t-shirt and you know what? It's pretty important. So we're going to do this. So our apologies go to Septic because it is a little biased against him, but he's kind of kicking butt on it as well. So I feel like maybe we spoke too soon. Anyhow, he got like 7 points on Monday and he's already rolling in now with it. So we hold back our judgment. We thought that it would be a real struggle, but you're doing pretty good. All right, so let's move on to question number 2. 60 seconds on the clock. Yeah, I have. I'm sorry, Septic. I've totally jinxed you. What man was murdered by police on Staten Island after repeating "I can't breathe" 11 times while in a chokehold? It sounds familiar, doesn't it? Oddly familiar. That police officer was not found guilty of anything. I don't remember. Was he charged? I don't think he was even charged. He was suspended, perhaps, but I don't know that he was he fired? Can't recall if he was fired even. I believe he was suspended. He might have been fired. I don't think he was charged. If he was charged, he definitely was not found guilty, which blows my mind. That is, again, falls straight into the like racist and then common sense bit, right? That little bit in the middle where we should really all agree on things. For some reason, we can't seem to get the consensus on that, and I don't know why. Time's up, so let's go to the chat. To me, it seems just like you can have arguments back and forth as to the facts of any given case. If somebody had their hands up, if somebody was, walking towards a police officer, if somebody, was doing something particularly threatening, or if the cell phone actually looked like a gun, right? You can have those conversations if you want, but it seems like all of that should go out the window immediately when somebody's in a fucking chokehold, because at that point, I can't imagine how they're a threat to you if they're just begging and saying they can't breathe. I don't get it at all. All right, time's up. He was charged and cleared of charges later. Okay, he was fired years later. I assume from probably doing something similar again to somebody else. That's all I can imagine. Because it doesn't seem like they are going to actually fix themselves. So somebody has to do it. And it seems like they just let them do it, 4 or 5 times, and then it's like, whoa, he definitely is a bad apple, which is weird because, like, I feel like that in most jobs that's not the case. So like I write code, right? I'm a coder, I'm a developer. And I feel like if I went into my job and then I like purposefully just deleted an entire repo full of code and I was like, "Oh, my bad. That entire like application is gone now." And then like I don't feel like they'd be like, "Well, that happens." Like they would be like, "We're have to let you go because that is terrible." And like, and look at it, just other things, right? Like if you were a pilot and you like crashed a plane into a mountain, but you survived, like the airline wouldn't be like, "Well, you're probably all right. Let's just we'll give it another chance because how bad could he actually be?" I just feel like you'd be like, "You're good. You should retire now because this is not for you." The very least, it feels like that seems like an easy way to go about this. Like, oh, you choked someone to death who had handcuffs on or whatever, then yeah, you're not a police officer anymore. All right, so I said I was gonna be less ranty, but I lied apparently. Let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3. Who was the first African American to play professional sports in the major leagues? 60 seconds. Oh, I forgot. I didn't say who it was. It was Eric Gardner. I will accept Eric Grainer, which was pretty close to Gardner. I feel like that was pretty dead on. That was just a typo. But yeah, you are correct. If you had Eric Gardner on as your answer, you get a point. First 2 points go to Dan Wolf. He was the first one in. And so, yeah, let's go and see what people say for the first African American to play professional sports in a major league. In a major league. So that means that, it has to be one of the big ones. Can't be like a league that was just for African Americans, which there were many of. Which I think is, just something else to keep in mind. That that is also a thing. All right, let's take a look. Time is up. Let's go to the chat here. We have a few different guesses here. We've got Jackie Robinson. That seems like the easiest guess. That seems like if you're gonna go for a guess of anyone, that's the one that's easy to like pull off. But Walker, we've also got a Walker. Dan Wolf goes with Walker. So this is tricky. It is Wednesday, so maybe we're getting a little further along on the answers. Hey Trey, welcome. See, we're getting our numbers up now. We've got 14 people, which is probably 7 people watching in multiple locations. Let's see. What else did we do? All right, so time's up. The answer is actually Jackie Robinson. That is correct. It is Dan. Who's Walker? Which reference is that to? Yes, everybody followed the British dude about American sports. It wasn't wasn't necessarily the best choice that people had made. Let's see. I need to get a point to Craig, and Melissa also gets a point. Definitely get that. And Trey rolls in and grabs a point right at the last minute there. Technically, every answer on this show is at the last minute because you only get 1 minute to answer. So that's just, I can say that at any point in time. And let's see. And Emily also snuck in right at the end. I got to get her a point as well. All right. Good night, Caitlin. I thought that was some dude's name. That was just some. So you just, Those are some dudes. I don't know offhand. There's a lot of walkers out there. Rick Doc Walker was on the Skins. We've got, isn't there like a McKimbe Walker or something like that? There's a few of them out there that are walkers that are also athletes. All right. Craig's also heading out. All right. Well, we will see you both later. They're heading off to their other meeting. And then we are going to go to question number 4. Question number 4. Let's do this. We may blow through this. We'll see. But don't forget, this is a Wager Wednesday. So we have a final bonus question that you can wager your points on. So it's going to be a little bit longer of a show because of that. Anyway, question is, name the enslaved woman who fathered 6 children, most likely with Thomas Jefferson. Moses Fleetwood Walker. Okay. I don't know. Dan says I was right. Is that the case? What? Being one of the first black men to play. I'm a little concerned because I feel like they've got the... Oh, no. There it is. Yeah. How do we have this wrong? That seems weird. Well, I know that Caitlin did a bunch of research to make sure things were correct, but you know what? I'm gonna give you a point, Dan Wolf, because that sounds like maybe that... Trey, do you think that that's also the correct one? Somebody else check his math, and I'll give him a point as well. Even though I was told the correct answer was Jackie Robinson. Did time already go up? Did I hit time? I feel like I must have, right? Let's see. The first question was there. So I know that a minute has gone by when it hits 28, definitely. I know that for a fact. Okay, so time is up. Let's go to the chat. And looks like we've got a lot of people saying it is Sally Hemings. Sally Hemings, which is correct. That is actually correct. This is going to sound terrible, but who was Thomas Jefferson? Septic, great question. Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of the United States. He wrote the Declaration of Independence, and I think maybe helped write the Constitution. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, so he was a big part of the Revolutionary War, the original government and stuff like that. But yeah, he was he also started one of the first universities, I think. Is that right? One of the oldest continuous universities is University of Virginia. But also owned slaves, and I would argue to say probably, I don't have all the facts because I was not there, but probably raped them. There's maybe a chance that you would say that it was consensual, but that feels like it's unlikely because of the situation. So I would say that Sally Hemings, who birthed children that have his lineage, that's proof enough that there was definitely a relations there. And then just because of the fact that he owned her as property, I think inherently makes it rape, right? Like, if we're being like straight up about things, I think that's going to be just, if we have to like say it in real terms, that's the case, right? Because it's not like she had a choice in it all, because what was the other, like, if she had been like, no, I don't really want to do that, I'm sure it wouldn't have turned out well for her with the way that was. So there you go. We'll just call it that. As the United States, there are things about the U.S. that you don't know better than we do. That's right. All right, let's get everybody points. Sally Hemings. Danny was the first one to get this. So that is great. Trey gets a point. 2 points for Trey. I'm going to just say these out loud, I think, as I go. Emily says, I appreciate you saying enslaved woman rather than instead of slave. Yeah, I'm torn between those. Caitlin wrote it. Definitely, I think the word woman really important there. But it also kind of, in a way, like softens the blow, it feels like, because we, that's what we treated the people like. And that seems like, I guess, maybe it's better to go with like slave owners and call it that way, and then enslaved people. Maybe that might be good. I don't know. It feels like by changing the term, it's like less sharp, which makes me uncomfortable. But at the same time, using just slave feels like it's like demoralizing or dehumanizing. So it kind of, I don't know, weird that way. Not great at linguistics all the time, but all right. So Septic went with Sally as well. Let's get Septic. 5 points so far for Septic, doing very well from across the pond. Melissa got a point for that. 4 for Melissa. Let's see. Emily, didn't get her a point yet. So 5 for Emily. And I think that's it. They're finally restoring her room. It has been the men's room at Monticello for years, which, yeah, that seems really unfortunate. Emily says, enslaved makes it a verb, something we did to them. They did not exist as slaves. All right, that's fair. That's a really good point. Yeah, I just don't. I tend to shy away from like making like polite words out of really difficult words, but I think that the way you're putting it makes sense to me. So, I definitely, if I had said slave, it wouldn't be because of a disrespect to Sally Hemings as much as how terrible a title that was that we gave them. So this feels good because it's a verb, so it's means that somebody did it to them. So yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's go on to question number 5. Question number 5. 60 seconds on the clock. Who has been called the First Lady of Civil Rights and the mother of the freedom movement due to her pivotal role in the Montgomery bus boycott? All right, so let's we've got about 45 seconds left. You want to get your answers in, and I have to point answers, which is a tricky thing to do while trying to be somewhat entertaining. We've lost people, so people just don't like this type of it's not funny enough. I think that's the problem. People don't think it's funny enough, and that's okay. That's fine by me. Every once in a while, we're funny a lot, right? We get to be pretty hilarious and stuff like that. But, this week we're a little more somber and we're learning. This is also a show where you learn things. And so we're learning things as we're going along. And that's equally as valuable. So I think that it's a public service that way. All right. So time is up. Let's go to the chat and we'll keep an eye and see what people have said, and keep an eye on Facebook to see when everyone's caught up. I'm surprised. We've only got 5 people on Facebook. Only 5 of you. I remember when we were in the 20s, and I don't know what has changed, but man, people are not impressed by it. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's that the world is kind of so like serious and crazy right now that people don't have the capacity for trivia, which could be another way to look at it. Did you know there was a woman who refused to give up her seat before Rosa Parks, but she didn't seem like a good and clean person for the movement to stand on? That is true, Emily. Yes, she was pregnant at the time and not married, and so the leaders of the movement decided that wasn't the right way to go. I think Rosa Parks may have been kind of planted as well, right? Is that true? Like, I feel like they like coached her, like, go onto the bus and then don't move from your seat and things like that. I feel like that was a piece of it. And sometimes that's what needs to happen for change, right? Is that You have to be as calculating as the people who are doing terrible things. They've got laws and stuff against you. You have to have a strategy to go against that. The answer is Rosa Parks. Dan Wolf gets the 2 points from that. Danny, Septic, Emily, Trey, and Melissa all get it correct as well. And let's go over, we're through 5 now. That's our 5th question, I think, right? That was our 5th question. So I'm going to sort alphabetically by number. And we'll go from lowest to highest for all the people's points. Trey has 3 points, has 3 points. Craig has 4 points. Danny has 5 points. Melissa tied with Danny with 5 points. And then Dan, Emily, and Septic all leading the way with 6 points. So if you happen to have a different score than I do in your own scorebook, let me know. I am doing this alone today, so it's a little trickier because I've got a lot of moving parts. I'm reading questions and I'm scoring things and trying to talk at the same time and changing scenes and hitting buttons, and it's a lot of fun. Hell yeah, Emily! It's like going to be like the Lord of the Rings. Oh, I didn't know it was gonna get all fiery and stuff. This show's got a lot to live up to if we're supposed to be Lord of the Rings. So I'm going to assume everybody's points are as you expected, unless I hear otherwise, and we will move on to question number 6. So question number 6. Who is widely regarded as the first person killed in the Boston Massacre, and thus the first American killed in the American Revolution? 60 seconds on the clock. Septic, you guys should know this, right? Don't you have like a record book somewhere? First guy that you killed in the Revolution? Feel like you should have something in there for that, right? You'd be like, yeah, we started it right here. This was the dude. That was the one we got. Then it kind of went downhill from there. And like this is when we were really good at this point. We were nailing it. One of the really fascinating things I think about the Revolutionary War is that there's a lot of complaints about like guerrilla warfare, like people, like the U.S. has gotten into Vietnam and things like that, and they've been like, well, they're all hiding in holes and stuff. How are we supposed to fight them if they won't come out and fight us? And the funny thing is that like guerrilla warfare is just like one of the most American things you can do, because that is, my friend, how we won the Revolutionary War, is by sneaking around and hiding under bridges and popping out behind people and shooting. The reason we had Minutemen is because you wanted all of these soldiers that could essentially pop out of nowhere in a minute, right? They could be assembled in a minute and go somewhere. They were very quick. Trey says Attucks. Yeah, it was definitely Attucks. Time's up. Let's go to the chat and see what people. Will you accept crispy Attucks? I think maybe that would be close. Who did I stop with? Septic, I think, was the last one I got. The answer is Crispus Attucks. And so I'm just trying to get everybody's points in while I'm still being able to focus. And let's see. I'm going to give it to Trey. He's got Attucks. He was pretty close with that. I remember it sounds like a tax. All right. Dan Wolf, Crispus Attucks. Yeah, crispy addicts. That's if you're an addict of crispy things. Chat just got fuzzy, which means I can't see Septic. Oh no! For some reason, I thought that Septic. I thought that it posted to Facebook as well, but apparently it just goes the other direction around. Anyone on Facebook, it posts over to Twitch, but maybe not the other direction. All right, so good. Everybody that got Crispus Attucks. Oh, I forgot to do the times up. There's the times up. Everybody that got Crispus Attucks, including Trey, who said Attucks or Attucks, I'm gonna give it to you too. We're being very good. Ian says, don't know what it was, but the Brit shot him. But the Brit who shot him was Keith Richards. That's not true. Keith Richards does not live that long. That is fake, but you get a style point. I'm going to give it to you, even though it's a Keith Richards joke. Because it fits this time. It's at least a British person, right? And it's an old British person. Interesting. Yeah, it shows up to YouTube and Facebook, or YouTube and Twitch, but does not go backwards to Facebook, which is interesting. All right, so let's go on to question number 7. Name the unarmed 25-year-old man who was shot to death near Brunswick, Georgia, while jogging on February 23rd, 2020. Yeah, that is that's more recent. Here's the silver lining on this one, and that it was not a cop that did it this time. It's a very thin silver lining, but I think it's more horrible when cops do it because they're supposed to serve and protect you, and so the fact that they're killing people makes it even worse. But that some racist dickhead decided to kill a black man who's unarmed and jogging is pretty shitty as well. But there we have it. Definitely doesn't make the family feel any better by that person, by being killed by one person or another. But was a lynching pretty much. Trey, that's not wrong, right? It's the modern version of it in a sense, right? He was, I didn't read up kind of on all of it, but if it's anything like the Trayvon Martin thing, where it was essentially like, well, this black kid was in a neighborhood that black kids shouldn't be in, and so we decided to kill him. That's kind of lynching light, right? No, pretty much it was a lynching period. Yeah, the only reason I said that is that I genuinely didn't know the details about it, but I take your word on it. It definitely seems like it was somebody just killed for being black and in a place where black people shouldn't be, which pretty much is how lynchings worked. So that's yeah. Anyhow, let's go, and time is up, and get the answers that people have here. Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah, that is correct. That is the absolute answer. Dan got it first. 2 points for Dan. Emily also gets a point for knowing that one. Let's see. Trey gets a last name. I didn't ask for a full name, so Trey, I'm gonna give you that one as well. And I think it's actually Dan Wolf guy. I think you got the spelling wrong. I believe it's Ahmad, but Ahmed is close. I knew what you were going for, so I'll give you the point for that. I think the important thing is you knew what I was referring to. Septic even got it. Look at that. See? The world's paying attention, which is embarrassing that the world has to pay attention to the shit that we're doing over here. All right. So there's some of the video. Funny thing is that the man who took the video would justify and prove the innocence of the lynchers. Yeah. No, not funny. Haha, definitely. But all right. So, time's up. I forgot to do that. I'm very distracted. I'm very distracted with all that's going on. So I appreciate you all being patient with me. Question number 8. I think it's partially because you guys are typing such interesting things, and so I want to read those. Dan Wolf also knows the time is up. So we're on to question number 8, which is, can you name the group of African American and Caribbean-born military pilots who fought in World War II? Not pirates, they were pilots. Can you name the group of African American and Caribbean-born military pilots who fought in World War II? There we go. Hong Kong has recently come out and been like, y'all had some different response when our citizens were protesting for democracy. Well, I mean, we are nothing if inconsistent. I think that yeah, I don't know. It's hard to get a consensus of all those people. If you're blind and listening to the audio, this question has really gone off the rails. Oh yeah, why? Oh, because I said pirates and then I said Korean almost. Yes. Can you name the group of African American and Caribbean born military pilots who fought in World War II? All right. Yeah, something Korean pirates. Yeah, I definitely was off on that one. All right, time's up, but we're gonna go over to Facebook and let that finish up. Definitely read better than I read. That's what I'm asking from you. It's not that much, right? Just read better than I do reading wise. How difficult could that be? All right, cool. And we are over on chat now, it looks like. Yep, so time is up. We're being pretty loose with these, I guess. Let's see. Danny says Tuskegee Airmen, which is correct. Tuskegee Airmen is the correct answer. Danny gets 2 points. We're now going into the double digits. You have 10 now. Trey says the same. Trey has 6 points. Emily also, but with a lot of question marks. Emily also gets a point and 9 points total for her. Melissa says, including some U.S. senators who praise the people of Hong Kong. Yeah. Don't know about the Caribbean part. Yeah, well, I didn't know about the Korean part. But it was Caribbean. Yeah, both descent, apparently. Let's see. Dan Wolf also got it, so a point to Dan Wolf. 10 for Dan Wolf now. And Septic nails it. God, Septic doing a good job of at least following the people who are right or knowing it yourself. I'm not going to judge either way, but killing it over there. The history behind it is really amazing. There's an amazing documentary about it on YouTube. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I took African American Experience cultural class in California. Thank you, Dr. Humbre. All right. See, that's a good class to take. It's good to learn all about all of the different people who make up our background, and we're learning a little bit about ourselves. Oh, the movie about the Tuskegee Airmen. Yeah, what was that? I don't know. I can't remember. I think there was also, I think there was a Red Tails. Is that the movie? Is it Red Tails? Because that's another name for them. I feel like that might have been it, but I know some people were suggesting changing the name of the Redskins to the Red Tails, and so yeah, I remember something about that. But is that the one? All right, cool. All right, let's go on to question number 8. Question number 9. Question number 9. Oh my goodness, we have made it to the penultimate question. Diana joined us just in time for the penultimate question. All right, question number 9 is, what is a police reform campaign proposed by activists associated with Black Lives Matter on a website that was launched on August 21st, 2005. 2005. It is something, yeah, definitely worth taking a look at. There's a website about it for police reform. We'll go over the website in a second. But I want to see if anybody gets guessed. This is a little harder. This is a little bit of a harder question. That's definitely true. About 30 seconds left. 8 can't wait. 8 can't wait. What? What's 8 can't wait? I haven't heard that one, but maybe it's that. I can't tell you if things are right or wrong yet because time is not up. 5 seconds left. So let's get your answers into the chat. All right, time is up. We've gone over to the chat. We'll see as Facebook catches up. Dan Wolf says body cams. We've got some campaign zeros. We've got 8 can't wait. And we're waiting to see Facebook kind of catch up on things. See if anybody else has any answers that they want to put in. And then we'll go to the correct answer. A list of police reforms that were proposed after Michael Brown. Oh, okay. Talked about Obama's address. Great. Okay. Well, that is not the case. This one is called Campaign Zero. Let's see. Just basically their idea is it's 10 different things, and broken window policing, community oversight, limited use of force, independent investigation and prosecution, community representation, body cams and filming the police, training and for-profit policing, demilitarization, and fair police union contracts. They want to live in a world where police don't kill people by limiting police interventions, improving community interactions, and ensuring accountability. So I'll send you. I'm going to put the link there in the chat. Go check that out. It's pretty cool. The answer is Campaign Zero. So first person to get that right was Trey. Trey got that. So 2 points to Trey. You've got 8 points now. Let's see what else. Oh, Danny. Danny also got it. Danny gets a point. 11 points for Danny. But yeah, it seems like a pretty straightforward thing, right? Like, I think that this is great because there's some real like actions that can be taken that seem, the 8 can't wait were done by Campaign Zero. Oh, interesting. Okay. So those are, I guess, 8. Oh, I see. Yeah. The hashtag 8 can't wait. So new initiative to immediately address police violence. Gotcha. Ban strangleholds or chokeholds. Require de-escalation. Require warning before shooting. Exhaust all other means before shooting. Duty to intervene. Ban shooting at moving vehicles. Require use of force continuum. I'm not sure what force continuum is. Require comprehensive reporting. Those all seem really good. What I like about these are like actionable things, right? It's not just like make things more fair, right? It's not just a like things have to get better. It's like do these, if we do these 8 or 10 things, things should get better. And that's really compelling, because it's hard to dodge like action items, right? It's hard to say, it's such a difficult problem. We don't know what to do about it. And like, cool, start with these. These would be really good. And so, yeah. The only downside I think of some of those is that they're, I'd have to look them over again, but they're a little bit more like, it feels like some might be I don't know about the use force continuum. Like do this before this. Oh, okay. So it's like a flow chart of how you do. Okay. Then that would be good. If I'm always concerned about when it's something like just be more gentle because it's so nebulous and like defined by people. So I think we should have some real like kind of strict policies of like these are the things you should be doing. So that's good. Well, good. DC 7 of the 8 enacted already. I think one of those should be, not shooting people with rubber bullets when they're just standing on their doorsteps or when they're peacefully protesting or things like that. Here's what's weird to me. Last soapbox, I promise, is the weird dichotomy of the fact that like police officers, like when you see the videos, they'll say like, well, the protesters, started it. And it's always like a protester, like, threw a bottle or something like that, which is bad, which is wrong. I'm in 100%. Like you shouldn't be throwing things at police officer protests. You shouldn't be breaking things. You shouldn't be burning things. These are things you shouldn't do. Right. But it's weird because, the retaliation is like, well, that guy like threw like a bottle at us and we were only in like complete riot gear and armor and helmets. And so then we started firing projectiles at them and like to a bunch of people who have no armor on or anything. It's like, imagine playing paintball, right? And like the guy who has no armor like shoots at you and hits your armor, and you're like, well, now we're gonna have to pelt him with everything, like, and that is just such a weird thing to me. Like, why have the armor and the helmets if the moment that that's something like, if something that if it protects you from things, then is the thing really a threat, I guess, is the question. If it escalates from there, sure, right? Like, I understand. Hell, if somebody throws a Molotov cocktail, like, all bets are off, right? Like, that's something completely different. But I feel like sometimes it's like, yeah, they threw a small rock at us and it hit my plexiglass shield and bounced off, and so we then had to pepper them with rubber bullets and tear gas. And I'm like, all right. I mean, it's non-lethal, but it feels like it's way more lethal than if you get hit with a small rock and we were wearing armor. But I don't know. There was a woman officer who stopped a man from choking a stopped a man. I think you mean another officer, right? He stopped another officer who was choking a handcuffed man. She was fired for intervening, even though the cop in question punched her in the face when she was trying to intervene. Dude was later fired for many issues, including strangling a fellow cop. That's cool. She's appealed for pension and has been denied a lot. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I feel like rubber bullets, if done right, can really mess somebody up. I don't know. Let's go to question number 10. Let's finish this bad boy up. 60 seconds on the clock. What unanimous Supreme Court decision stated that separate educational facilities are inherently unequal? Last question of the night. Let's see if you get this one. I feel like this should roll off the tongue pretty easily. I'm not even going to make you give the entire answer. I will allow you to give the colloquial answer of the case. Yeah. They don't have a metal core. Or don't they have a metal core? I don't know. I don't know what they're made out of. I would assume just hard rubber, but I figure if you get one in the temple or something, it could probably really mess you up. I don't know. Not to mention just concussive force in general, but yeah. About 5 seconds left to get your answer in, and then we will move to the chat. I'm actually looking forward to going back to just ridiculous trivia, because that's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a nice departure from just very sad things that we have to talk about. All right, so again, just in case people were like taking me out of context, I believe that police should protect themselves. I believe that even lethal force should be used if their life is in imminent danger. Absolutely. It's a difficult job, and police should not should be going home every night. That I believe that intrinsically as well. I believe that police don't deserve to be killed, but it's weird that the way that we are escalating things is that if you are all up in armor with helmets on and somebody throws a bottle, that you fire weapons at them. That's just weird to me, and I haven't researched it. I know very little about it. It just off the cuff feels weird to me. So time's up. Let's go and see. It is our top answer here at the top. Looks like, let's see. Trey came in first with Brown v. Board of Education. 2 points to Trey, 10 points total for him. Came in late and it made a pretty good score here. So that is interesting. Well done. Emily has gotten a point for Brown versus Board of Education. 10 as well, tied with Trey. Danny gets the full name, which is interesting. So this is the part that I wasn't going to make people know, but Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka. It is is the actual name of the case. So it's something that I didn't know either. I learned that. I'm used to board versus Board of Education, Brown versus Board of Education. I mean, but I didn't realize of Topeka was part of that. Obviously, that's where it all started, so it does make sense. But yeah, I feel like Danny, nicely done. 12 points total for Danny tonight. Dan Wolf, Brown versus BOE. I will give you that. That seems correct as well. 11 points for Dan Wolf. So let's see. Melissa gets a point. Correct for Melissa. And 8 points for the night for you. Septic, Brown versus Board of Education, all the way from across the pond. Congratulations. 10 points for you for the night. And Diana Smiles comes in at the last second and grabs a point before the end of the show. So that is it. So this is great. The only thing we have to do now, let's go over and take a look at everybody's points. Oh, I'll need to do a total for Dan Wolf because I hadn't had you in the spreadsheet before. And so, yeah. All right. So we're going to go over the points that everybody got. Let me know if you got them correct. Ian has thrown a Karen at the end of the entire show. I was fairly generous. Yeah, that is true. Diana has 1 point. Craig has 4 points. Melissa has 8 points. Emily has 10. Septic, Trey also have 10. Dan Wolf with 11. And Danny right now at the top with 12 points. But we do now have to go over the shares from everybody. So while I'm doing that, let me know if you think your score was incorrect. But that is what I've got for now. Let's see. No Barbine. Do I not have Barbine here? How did Barbine not make it onto this? All right, Barbine is on with 3 points for 3 different shares to 3 different groups. Shaggy gets a point for sharing, and then he disappeared. Shaggy went away. I don't know why. Scared him off. Craig gets a point for sharing. 5 points for him total. I get a point for sharing. And let's see. Emily gets a point for sharing, bringing her to 11. So although things have switched around a little bit, it does look like we are still with the winner of Danny. Danny gets the win. So congratulations on that. And then we will move on, everybody, to your favorite thing that we invented. Maybe. I don't know if it's the favorite thing or not. But one of the things we invented that you are not mad about, that you find at least pleasing in a mediocre way. We're going to go on to our Wager Wednesday. So I'm going to throw up the category here. Throw it up. This way you can have an educated guess. Here we go. Wager Wednesday. The category is U.S. presidents. U.S. presidents. And we'll go from the top down here. And what we're going to do. Trey is already all in. So Trey had 10 points. He is wagering 10 points. Diana has 1 point. Has 1 point for the week. I lied. Trey has 30 points for the week. So he's 30 in. Sorry about that. I had just looked at today. So 30 points all in. Emily has 19 points. She's going all in. Diana has 1 point for the week. Shaggy has 6 points for the week. Barbine has 3 points for the week. Craig has 17 points for the week. Melissa has 18 points for the week. Septic has 17 points for the week. Dan Wolf has 11 points for the week. And Danny's got 23 points. 23 points for the week. Septic says, I'm out. Not a bad idea. You're reserving, being conservative here. That's not a bad thing to do. Danny's all in with 23 points. Wager all 8. You have all 8 from today, but you have 18 total, Melissa. So you just want to do the 8 from today, or do you want to do all 18? All in on your 1 point. I like it, Diana. This is good. Ian is all in with his 0 points. All right, so you could end up doubling your score here, Ian. This is very exciting. All right, so I think we've got almost everyone. Dan Wolf didn't get a best from you, so I'm going to assume that it's 0. That it is 0. If you're not familiar with what we're doing, you get a category. You get to wager as many points as you've earned for the entire week. And if you get the answer correct, you get that many points. So you could double your points. And if you get it wrong, you lose all of those points. Just in case anyone wasn't aware. Okay, Melissa's going all in with 18. Craig is no longer with us here. Barbine's gone. I think Shaggy's out. So Dan Wolf is the only person that might be still hanging out, but I'm not hearing from him. So I am going to assume that Dan Wolf is going with a 0 wager. All right, so let's move on to the question, everybody. Here's the question. Who was the first African-American presidential candidate in the United States? It's a little harder. I know you thought maybe I was going to go first African-American president, but I felt that was a little too easy on a Wager Wednesday. So we're going with who was the first African-American presidential candidate in the United States? First African-American to run for president. A little harder. Hopefully you get this, though. I feel like this is a really good part of U.S. history, in my opinion. Let me get 60 seconds on the clock, and you guys can think it through. Septic says, glad I didn't jump in. Yeah, it was going to be a tough one for you. It definitely was. We've got a few people guessing Frederick Douglass. That's a common name. You do hear that one often. But was that the first one? Ian says it's the guy, the rent's too damn high guy. Did he run for president? I know he ran for, that was like mayor of New York City, right? I feel like he was the mayor of New York City is what he's going for. Maybe he went for president after that. That might be the case. All right. Seems like a lot of people are going with the same answer. Let's see. Trey goes with Frederick Douglass. Danny went with Frederick Douglass. Emily, Frederick Douglass. Melissa says Frederick Douglass. And Diana goes with Frederick Douglass. So time is almost up. Everybody's in the same boat together at this point. We're going to the chat to see what people did. Everybody's already in, so I don't think we need to wait for the Facebook to catch up because all the people who did wager are already in right now. So let's see. What are we doing? Oh, I got that wrong. I just realized that was incorrect. Got to make sure I got that correct. Okay, so the answer is Frederick Douglass. You guys are absolutely correct. That is the correct answer. First presidential candidate who's African American. So congratulations to everybody for knowing. Everybody pretty much doubled up their score, right? Because everyone went all in. So everyone doubled their score. That means Diana has 2 points for the week. Melissa has 36. Let's see. Trey has 40. I had misspoke earlier. You had 10 on Monday and 10 today. So 20 total. You bet 20. So you have 40 total. Emily says 19. Went with 19. So she has 38. Danny with 46. And then Dan Wolf and Septic Soap with no bets stick with 11 for Dan Wolf and Septic Scope with 17. Too Damn High Party Guy. Too Damn High Party Guy declared he was running in 2012 but never made it on a ballot. Oh, okay. That's what it was. Let's see. Acceptance speech. I want to say this directly to you, Keith and Caitlin. I appreciate the fact that you're talking about something that is very, very important. Appreciate you playing trivia this week, even if we don't have the illegal amount all of the time. Yeah, hopefully we can get that up. It's much more rewarding when we have 20 or 30 people on my side, at least. So we'd love for you to spread the word on that. I have a lot of respect for what you're doing, and thank you, because I know it is not easy to lead a conversation on the history of the United States surrounding people of color. If I could request it, I really want to keep the lights off tomorrow again. No problem. We're doing another blackout tomorrow. Congratulations to everyone. We're here 7 o'clock every night. Obviously, we weren't here. Well, technically, we were here at 7 o'clock last night. We just didn't do trivia. So we will be back here tomorrow. For those who are wondering, there is a bit of a theme going on. There's going to be a theme Thursday as well. We'll see what that turns into. Hopefully we'll make something a little more specific. But yeah, we're just going to keep doing this all week. Hopefully, if we can find enough trivia, which shouldn't be a problem. We just have to dig for it because it is not talked about nearly as much as other trivia. But we will find it and we will talk about it. And we're going to do this the rest of the week. If this makes you uncomfortable, that's okay. You can be uncomfortable. It's something that sometimes we have to do. But if for some reason that is not something that you are willing to deal with, you can join us on Monday at 7 o'clock, and we'll get back to all the fun zaniness where we forget about the world for a little bit. But this week we're not going to forget about the world. So that is just a thing. It feels a little wrong, but I do have a podcast. Go check that out. I'm not going to really hype that up, but I do appreciate any support that you throw that way. And I think that's about it, everybody. So hey, we went overtime too. I was more preachy than normal. All right. So yeah, 7 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be back here for a theme Thursday. Until tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Everybody, stay safe. Which usually was the throwaway line, because then I would go to stay healthy and stay home. But I'm going to have to stay healthy, stay home. Now I'm going to go to stay safe. If you are out there, I understand being out there, and it is risky with health and things like that. But please, I would really appreciate everyone being peaceful and being safe. There's important things to talk about, and we want to make sure that doesn't get overshadowed by the pointing of blame. If you see people doing stupid things, stop them. You are allowed to stop people. We can stop people from looting and from setting fires and from breaking things. We can tell them that it's more important than that. The people that there are tons of videos online right now of people doing that. And I think it's huge. I think it's such a big deal. So, don't instigate, make sure that your voice is heard, and be safe. I just want everybody to be back here next time. And so, as you go out there, I understand why you might be frustrated and angry and sad about things, and why you might want to act out in violent ways. I get it. But try and be better than that. We've got 4 police officers all charged, which is pretty awesome. Now we just have to actually get them into court and get them convicted of doing the things that they did. The fact that they murdered people and abused their power in which to do that. So one step closer, and then hopefully we can take down monuments, and we can do a lot of other things that will make people who are underserved and under-recognized feel a little more safer in this country. And hopefully, and then make everybody feel safer in this country. So be safe. Shout out still to everybody who's out there in the essential jobs. I know we're starting to open up and stuff now, but wow, you sacrificed a lot during a pandemic, and that shouldn't be overshadowed by all of this negativity. That was really awesome of you, and now we get an opportunity to make more awesome stuff. Please thank all of your mechanics and your healthcare workers and your people taking care of people and stocking things and driving and all the things that make society work while we stay home. That is pretty awesome. So 7 o'clock tomorrow, we'll come back here. We'll learn more about some history of the United States, and hopefully make sure that people know more about the things they need to know more about. All right, and that's it. That's all I got, people. That is it. Everybody have a really great night. All right, thanks for hanging with me. Good night.